Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are doing a battle of the skincare brands. In this series, I take two of my favourite holy grail ride or die skincare brands and we pit them against each other. We break it down by each step in our skincare routine and we work out ultimately which of the two brands is offering the best value when it comes to our own skincare routine. Today, we're taking a look at one of the original viral skincare sensations, which is The Ordinary, against a relative newcomer, but one that's creating a lot of buzz online, Geek and Gorgeous. They both have amazing products which have transformed my skin, but ultimately there can only be one winner. So if you want to sit back, relax, grab a tea, coffee, whatever your pleasure, and let's talk the battle of the skincare brands. Now, this is a series that I used to run quite regularly on the channel, but I dropped it because, well, I ran out of the brands to compare and contrast against. But leave me a comment below if you're part of the original Battle of the Skincare Brands crew. If you remember these videos first time around, drop me a comment below. I'm going to leave a link to a playlist where, I condensed all of these videos into one, which I'll leave a link to up there. Don't read me to filth, they're old videos, so if you want to laugh and you want to see, me before I learn anything about editing, feel free to be my guest and check out some of these videos. I usually like to start with a very quick, side-by-side analysis of the two brands themselves. I am going to keep this quick because I've got a lot to get onto, but let's start with Geek and Gorgeous. They're a Hungarian brand which have been around for quite some time, but I think only really got picked up outside of Hungary in the last couple of years. There's a lot of talk about them online because they encompass a lot of the things we love in skincare. Entirely cruelty-free, which is fantastic. They offer a really affordable price point for the quality of the formulations they're offering. Their shipping is really quick and reasonably priced to most territories, though I will come on to that a little bit later. And overall, I think they have a really nice curated set of products that take away some of the things we don't want in our skincare routine, such as the drying alcohols, the fragrances, the colorants. If that sounds like something you're trying to avoid, then Geek and Gorgeous have got you covered. The Ordinary has been around for much, much longer and I'd say was the original viral skincare brand sensation. People went mad for their single ingredient focus, the fact that they were cruelty free, drugstore, they didn't have any colorants or any fragrances in their product. It just ticked all of the boxes. The two brands, I think this is going to be a really great comparison because I say the two brands are really relatively similar. They have a similar set of ethics and things behind the brand. They also offer a very similar price point, which is great. And this isn't, these battles aren't meant to be shady. I deliberately choose brands that I absolutely love. So this is really a celebration of all that's good with these brands rather than being a detractor and trying to, pick them apart and choose one over the other. Finally, I do just want to say the reason I chose this as a great battle is because I've seen a lot of chatter online of people saying, is Geek and Gorgeous the new Ordinary? I know Cyril Laurent on his channel, who, I'm a huge fan of his, he covered Geek and Gorgeous and he very much badged it as the new Ordinary. I'm going to leave a link to that video below if you want to check it out. So I thought, okay, let's put it to the test. Let's see, can Geek and Gorgeous actually replace the Ordinary? Now, let's cut the waffle and let battle commence. And where better to start than with the cleansing step, because all good skincare routines start with an effective cleanse. And this is quite an easy step to compare and contrast because both brands have just one cleanser. Battling it out for Geek and Gorgeous is this, the Jelly Joker Cleanser, and in the Ordinary's corner is this, the Square Lane Cleanser. Let's start with Geek and Gorgeous. This is one of my holy grail cleansers at the moment. It's a gel cleanser, but it's a little bit more luxurious than your standard gel cleanser. It's got a nice bounce to it. It is, in the name, it's a jelly cleanser, and it has a nice bounce and a luxurious feel. You put this onto the skin, and it doesn't give that really heavy lather that you just know is going to strip and dry your skin. It actually gives a really nice, effective cleanse, and I'd say it works as a standalone cleanser, particularly if you've just got a light makeup look on. It gets rid of all that dirt, debris, SPF. If you have a very heavy makeup look, or maybe you're wearing layer after layer of SPF, you might want to start with a balm cleanser and then follow with this, but it's perfect as a second step in a double cleanse as well. It's fragrance free, it's just a really nice product, and I think the price point is amazing for the amount of product that you get, and it's just a luxurious, if you're bored of all your gel cleansers, give this a go because it's just a really nice, luxurious, bougie feel to it, but again, it's not breaking the bank, and for us oily people out there, this could be a lifesaver in summer for you, and it's the one that I'll be reaching for. In terms of the Ordinary, this is their Square Lane Cleanser, and I'd say they're pretty much very similar in that this will do almost everything in terms of a cleanse. Same as when I said with the Geek and Gorgeous, if you're wearing a very heavy makeup look, you might want to use it as part of a double cleanse, just to make sure you get rid of everything, but it's a pretty robust cleanser. It's not got that gel-like feel like the Geek and Gorgeous. It goes on as more of an oil, and it just breaks everything down, emulsifies, and washes off the skin completely. Neither of these leave a film or a trace on the skin, and I'd say they're pretty equal. The only thing I'll call out with the Square Link cleanser is they do this ridiculously small size, and even the larger size to this doesn't last that long, whereas I say that the Jelly Joker cleanser lasts that a little bit longer. But all told, both of these are my ride or die absolute favourites. I'm just not going to choose between them. So this is a score draw when it comes to cleansers. Now I've left links to both of these products below if you do want to check either of them out. I'll also leave a link to a full Geek and Gorgeous review up there if you want to check that out in a little bit more detail. Maybe I've piqued your interest with this product alone. Check out that video. But it's a draw so far because I just can't choose between these, which are my absolute favourites. Now we've cleansed the skin and we're going to want to move on to an exfoliation step. Now this is where it gets tricky because the Geek and Gorgeous tend to do a blend of exfoliating acids. So this is a really great example. This is their Calm Down, which takes 4% PHA, polyhydroxy acids, super gentle, superficial, light exfoliation, but still can be really effective with a small concentration of salicylic acid, which again is going to go into those pores and flush them out. This is what I call an exfoliating blend, and I think this is kind of where it's at. It takes the best of all of these acids and blends them together. They do one that has a lactic and a glycolic acid blend. They also have one that has mandelic acid in. So it's kind of this something for everyone, and they pitch it as like the high, medium and low strength, which I think is super easy to understand. All of the Geek and Gorgeous exfoliators are so well thought through, and they really do add something to everyone's skincare, and there is one out there for everyone. What I also love is every time you buy one of these, they donate €1 to charity, so it's got that nice charity element as well. And one thing that sets it apart, and this shouldn't be, like, I know I'm totally tragic for enjoying this as much as I do, but it's got one of those safety caps on the top, which means that you can put it down, and when you travel with it, it doesn't spill anywhere, doesn't leak all over your luggage, and I just think that's a nice extra design. Now, coming in for the Ordinary, there is so much to choose from because they're quite the opposite of the Geek and Gorgeous. They go for single acids. So there's no blending here, it's just a single acid formulation, and you kind of choose the one that you want for your skin type. I think it takes a little bit more knowledge to choose the right one, whereas with Geek and Gorgeous, it's the high strength, medium strength, low strength. You kind of know what you're going for. With the Ordinary, you have to have a little bit more understanding to choose the right acid for you. If you're still kind of not sure which is the right acid for you, I did a video, which I'll leave a link to up there. So that breaks down all of the exfoliators from the Ordinary, so you can choose the right one for you. Two of my favourites of this is the lactic acid 10%, which is hydrating and exfoliating. This is like glow in a bottle, love it. And this is the salicylic acid mask 2%. I hated this at the start, but I've grown to love it because honestly, you paste this over the nose, use it instead of those pore strips, paste it over the nose, and honestly, I've seen probably like a 50% reduction in my blackheads on my nose after using it for 3 months. Star performer. Both of them, like I say, contain just one type of acid, and so you need that knowledge and you need to mix and match and blend. In terms of who is going to win it for the exfoliators, I think these are strong categories for both brands, but I am going to give it to Geek and Gorgeous. The reason is I think the products are better explained on their website, which means for novices, people that maybe don't understand exfoliating acids and can be intimidated by them, kind of know what they're getting, and it's easy to piece into a skincare routine. I like the packaging more. These can leak, and that's just, it's not great if you're traveling. I love the packaging on this, and I just think there's something for everyone. So for me, whilst it's a really strong category for both brands, this one is going to Geek and Gorgeous, and so far it's 2-1 to Geek and Gorgeous. Now, before we come on to serums, which let's be honest is where it's going to get super complicated, we have a toning step. People like to tone. You might want to rebalance the skin after you've exfoliated, reset the pH, get everything glowing and hydrated. Unfortunately, the Ordinary don't have a toner. I think this is unusual. I don't know why they don't have a toner. They have a glycolic acid toning solution, but I'm classing that as an exfoliator because the core purpose of it is to exfoliate, although it is in a solution that kind of mimics a toner. I'm surprised they don't have a toner or a mist, particularly because both Hylamide and Neod, which are like the sister companies to the Ordinary, have really great mists on offer, so I kind of think it's a gap in the market. Geek and Gorgeous have my cult holy grail favourite, which is this, the liquid hydration. Love this product. Can't fangirl about it enough. Hydrating, soothing, calming, all the good stuff. So because the Ordinary don't actually have a product to compare it to, and because this is so good, I'm going to have to give this to Geek and Gorgeous. Now, this means Geek and Gorgeous are leading 3-1, but there's still all to play for because I think where the serums come, which is what we're going to discuss next, the Ordinary, it's where the Ordinary really excel. Now, I'm going to break it down into just two steps, the serums, and then we're going to deal with retinols separately, because I think retinols are a different category. They offer different things for the skin, and I would break each serum down separately, but I think, no one has time for an hour-long video. So let's talk about the serums more generally. Now, when it comes to serums from Geek and Gorgeous, I think this category really shows how Geek and Gorgeous are much newer to the skincare world than the Ordinary, because they have a much smaller set of serums. In terms of what they do offer, they have a hyaluronic acid and a niacinamide, same as the Ordinary. The Ordinary have a hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. I don't think you necessarily need either of these in your skincare routine. I think we can get our hyaluronic acid and our niacinamide elsewhere. In fact, I covered this in a recent video, which I'll leave a link to up there, about how too much niacinamide isn't always a good thing for the skin. In terms of the other serums that they have their Sea Glow serum, which is stunning. Absolutely stand out. So the reason I love the Sea Glow serum is it's a potent, pure form L-ascorbic acid, but it's made fresh every single week. So when you get that batch, it's no older than a week old, and so it's fresh, there's no oxidization, it keeps for ages, which I absolutely love. And I think that's sort of innovation, which is what is pushing Geek and Gorgeous into people's minds and just been really leading the way in a lot of ways. They also have this, which is the A-Pad azelaic acid serum. This, stunning, amazing. It's one of the few azelaic acid derivatives on the market. Superb if you have sensitive skin and are worried about the azelaic acid tingle that you might get. A derivative could be the way forward. And I honestly, this is the one that I use so often, and it gets great results in terms of evening out the skin tone, preventing acne and breakouts, all the good stuff. Now, when it comes to the Ordinary, I just think they have nailed it in terms of serums. They have a serum for just about every single ingredient out there. They offer single ingredient formulations, but that really deliver that affordable price point to die for, and I love so many of their serums. I adore their peptide collection. The buffet with copper peptides, stunning. The Azuraline solution, game-changing for fine lines and wrinkles. In fact, I love it so much I fangirled about it in a separate video, which I'll link up there. Love that product. They also do specific things like the caffeine solution. Pre the Ordinary, it was really difficult to get a caffeine solution, which is one of the most effective ways of tackling puffiness and inflammation in the eye. This, so good. And they also do a really nice range of vitamin C's. They do some derivatives. I love the vitamin C derivatives from the Ordinary, and I also like some of their pure form. This is the 8% ascorbic acid, which again, really great product. In terms of hyperpigmentation, you've got the alpha-arbutin. You can use an azelaic acid that they do. They kind of have it all, which is why it's almost impossible for me to award this as a win to anyone but the Ordinary. I do think they've got to work on some new formulations, because we haven't had a new launch in terms of serums from the Ordinary in over a year, and I know there's a lot of brands like Geek and Gorgeous catching up with them, but in terms of the breadth, the scope of products they offer and that price point, I just don't think we can award this as a win to anyone but the Ordinary, which currently means it's 3-2 to Geek and Gorgeous. Now we're going to move on to retinols, and the reason I'm treating vitamin A derivatives and retinols separate to serums is because I do think they have such a great impact on our skincare routine, but come with such side effects that you really have to think about the right one you're using. It's not just a standard serum. Of course, you should be thinking about it before introducing anything into your routine, but I think this is no more so than with retinols, where you really have to put thought behind the one that you're choosing. In terms of the Ordinary, they have a baffling array of different retinol products, and I think it's almost bordering on confusing. They have different base formulations, they have different strengths, they can mix retinols with gram-active options, and it's just a little bit off-putting. I also don't have a great history with the Ordinary retinol products, because I just don't find any of them work with my skin type, which is very oily. They tend to leave a film and were difficult to work in. You can mix it with your moisturiser, and that will help it absorb a little bit quicker, but I just think in terms of what they're offering, I think the formulations could do with a tweak and an update. I fell hard when it came to Geek and Gorgeous and their Retinol collection. I absolutely love their product. They do two strengths, super simple, high strength, medium strength. You kind of know what you're getting. You don't need to pick it apart and work out which is the right one for you. This is their high strength. This is their A Game 10. And honestly, this is as close to prescription strength in terms of a vitamin A derivative you can get here in the UK. And it's so affordable. You don't need to reach for that Paula's Choice Clinical, which was another great retinol product, but cost like 3 times as much as this. It's super affordable, super effective. And the base formulation is so hydrating that it gets away from a lot of the drying, the peeling, the irritation that you can get from a really high strength vitamin A derivative. So this is going to Geek and Gorgeous, because I honestly think people that are struggling to find a really good match for an almost prescription strength vitamin A derivative, this could be your absolute friend. And so it's 4-2 to Geek and Gorgeous. Now, the final column that I'm going to come on to is SPFs and moisturisers. Now, I was really surprised that Geek and Gorgeous don't have a moisturiser. I understand why they don't have an SPF because, you know, it can be difficult to formulate. There's a whole lot of rules and regulations to get through. And so I know a lot of brands just find it easier to not launch with an SPF straight off. With The Ordinary did, which should be applauded. But in terms of their moisturisers, I was just surprised Geek and Gorgeous don't have a standalone moisturiser. Maybe they feel that that is, you know, that section of the market's already covered, or maybe they've got something in the pipelines and I'll look forward to it if they do. This by default has to go to The Ordinary, but I'm glad it did because this their natural moisturizing factors plus hyaluronic acid, stunning product. So affordable, so cheap, yet so effective. It's got skin compatible ingredients, so it's suitable for almost all skin types. It won't break you out, but equally it will add hydration to the skin. It works really well on top of other serums that you might put on, and I find you can put makeup and concealer on it quite easily without it pilling and peeling. I love this product. It was one of my original holy grail ride or die moisturizers, and I still got it in my collection and I keep reaching for it time and time again. When it comes to The Ordinary sunscreens, I'm not a huge fan. I think they leave a very heavy white cast, but I will say this, and I do always caveat with this, they are tried, tested and verified. So if you want a mineral sunscreen that you know is giving you the protection that it says on the bottle, then The Ordinary is a really affordable option that you can shop with confidence and knowing you're getting that protection. So I'm including them because I do think it's nice to have verified options, but for me it just left such a heavy white cast on the skin, and you know what, I'm quite light, so it's not like, you know, it's not like I've got darker, richer skin tone and it's not worked for me. So this is a firm no for anyone that has a darker skin tone than myself, which just means it's not that accessible, and I think a little update to the formulation wouldn't go amiss. But overall, the moisturizers and SPFs has to go to The Ordinary, which gives it to Geek and Gorgeous by the narrowest of margins, 4-3 to Geek and Gorgeous. So there you have it, guys. Geek and Gorgeous by a whisker. However, I will say what this does show to me is the amount of choice we have as consumers when it comes to drugstore gorgeous products. I hope all those luxury and bougie brands are taking note, because if you can deliver this amount of quality with a really budget friendly price point, why would we reach for those overpriced bougie and luxury items? Really, we're just selling ourselves short because we can get all of that amazing quality without breaking the bank. Whilst Geek and Gorgeous were the winners, I think you do need to bear in mind shipping. So Geek and Gorgeous, super affordable here in Europe. However, I do know there are some shipping costs associated with North America. They do offer a minimum spend, free shipping on a minimum spend, but it is reasonably high over in North America. So bear that in mind. Here in Europe, it's a much lower minimum spend to qualify that for that free shipping. The Ordinary don't offer free shipping as far as I'm aware, but their shipping does come at a much lower price point because they're a more international brand. So you do need to factor that in when we talk about the pricing and things being affordable versus luxury. I just want to throw that out there. I would love to know your thoughts and feelings. Sound off in the comments below. Are you an Ordinary fangirl and you are devastated that they didn't win this battle? Or are you a full Geek and Gorgeous convert and cheering from the rafters? Leave me a comment below, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.